What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Good morning. It is 6:49 a.m. Right now we're headed over to Chevrolet. We just pulled the C8 in. We're gonna get its first oil change done and then DCT fluid, the filter change, and 2 quarts of DCT fluid put into it. Check out this Corvette vault. All just Corvettes. I got a little surprise for you guys back here. Got a convertible ZR1, guys. Check this thing out. Not every day you see one of these. I don't know if this is the stock wing that they come with. I know they have a high wing and a low wing, but I don't know if that's actually from the factory. It doesn't look like it would be. Not with those mounting points, but it could be. This is a pretty cool sight. You got 4 generations right here. You got the C5, C6, C7, C8. Alright guys, so we got the C8 up on the lift. We're gonna start with getting this back compartment taken out so we can get to the air box underneath there. I believe we just have probably 4 T15s all the way around. So here's what it looks like with the passenger side bracket taken off. The 4 screws in the bracket that hold the top in. Then you just pull this little felt carpet back.
Now we got a crap load of them.
Now we got a bunch. Looks like we gotta take this panel off right here. It's got about, I don't know, I'd say about 15, 20 of them. All right, so we just popped that panel off of there. And now you have your air box here. Just a better look at this air box, guys. All right, guys, so we got the C8 up on the lift. Check out the underbody. This is so cool. This is awesome. It's all buttoned up under there. All right, guys, if you're only doing an oil filter change, they made a nice little cutout there for you. Just drop that oil filter. And then there's your drain plug, guys. That's cool. They made it to where you could use a Torx or a socket on there. All right, so here's a better view for you guys. So this is the rear of the car here. There is a cutout right there for the oil filter, and then a cutout right there for the drain plug. So not only are we doing the oil filter change, but we're also doing the DCT filter and adding 2 quarts of DCT fluid. So you have to take off this pan right here first, which has about, I don't know, 10, 15 bolts to get this pan off. And this one has about 20 more bolts. All right, so we just got our first pan off there. That's what it looks like. You can see the front of the motor. You can see the drain plug a little easier now. The filter's right there. All right, so a couple interesting things, guys. These are not supposed to be installed from the dealer. This is part of the track prep. You're supposed to add these ducts on for the track, and then you're supposed to take them off for the street. So when we get back from our trip, we're gonna have to make sure that we take these things off. Another cool thing are these bolts right here that are holding this pan on are called reverse Torx screws. I've never heard of that. They're 6-point reverse Torx. All right, so we got our second pan off now, and now you can see the transmission, see the oil filter a little better. It's a pretty big bolt. Nice. This is pretty cool. I've never seen an oil drain just go straight down. Usually you see it popping out the side or the back. I have no idea where the transmission, the DCT filter, and the drain plug is, but I'm gonna guess this is the drain plug, which has a lot of oil all over it. And then I'm gonna say the filter is in there? Or maybe it's in there. I don't know. We'll find out here in a second. Now this is interesting. I'm gonna ask the tech when he gets back, but it looks like there's some type of fluid all over the pan of this. I think it's the transmission pan. It looks like some type of oil, or let me see if I can zoom. There we go. It looks like some type of oil or something. I don't know, we'll have to ask when he comes back. Here's all of our screws. I think they're all the same. I think you got a bunch of these reverse Torx, and then a bunch of these probably 10 mils. It's so weird to look at the front of the car, under the front of the car, and see like basically nothing. Instead now it's all on the rear. So crazy. Look at how many bolts are hard to put on that one pan right there. I wonder what's in there. Seems a little excessive though. That's a lot of bolts. I'm really curious what is under that pan with all those bolts there. Under a C5 you had the exhaust, but what do we have under there? So many bolts. If anybody knows, comment below. I'm curious. I don't want to take off all those bolts right now, but I'm curious. If you know what's under there, comment below. Let me know what's under there. Here are those pans so you guys can see how massive they are off the car. Got our mobile one, 0W40, and our new filter. All right, so the technician just came back and did confirm I do have a leak, transmission leak. Not sure where or why yet, but he's gonna go and check on the service bulletin, see if there's anything else that is out there, see if anybody else had this issue, while we're going ahead and draining the oil filter. Well, that kind of sucks. Good thing we brought it here, because then we can just knock out all this stuff at one time. But yeah, that's a bummer. We're gonna put the two extra quarts of DCT fluid in there, so I think we'll have plenty for the track. But yeah, that does suck. I guess we got to come back. That's gonna be our first major problem with the car. So let's see what happens. All right, guys. So yeah, it looks like the DCT filter looks like it's underneath those 4 bolts. A little cover right there. All right, guys. So this is the little cap that houses that DCT filter, which goes right up in there, which is draining that DCT fluid right now. And after further investigation, guys, it looks like the leak is coming from up there. It says it's the, what'd you say it was called?
Control valve cover.
He says it's leaking from the control valve cover. So we take a few photos, send them over to GM and see what they say to do. So the technician did say you need to go ahead and replace that blue seal and then replace the 4 bolts with 4 brand new bolts with Loctite. Guys, and there's your filter, the DCT fluid filter, or DCT transmission filter.
Sealant.
Oh, gotcha. Your 4 new bolts for that cap that holds that filter in. All right, guys, so now we're back up top. We're gonna take out this air box, get to the DCT fill plug down there. All right, so we're taking out the 4 bolts here that hold in, what do you call those? Little air box couplers?
Yeah, side inlets, I think they call
inlets. And they just slide right out like that. Too easy. All right, so we got both side inlets off. All right, so we're working on getting our bottom 2 bolts out of the air box right there and there. Guys, I love this design of this little inlet pipe. Or it just slides in so easy. Like, that's so cake. It even told you got R's, I guess, for right hand side, and then L's for left hand side, so you know which side it goes on. That's such a cool design. Alright, guys, so there is a hidden bolt.
There's one on each side.
On each side of the motor here for the front of the, or the back of the airbox, however you want to call it. But it's a 10mm down there and another 10mm down here. Alright, guys, so I'll show you exactly where that bolt is. It's actually behind this set of wires right there. You can see that little shiny spot right there next to my finger. That's where the 10mm bolt is on this side of the motor. And you've got another one down there. Alright, so after you get those 2 bolts out of the front there, looks like it's pretty loose. She's coming. She's coming slowly but surely. A bunch of clips, guys. Be careful. Got one over here, got one over there, got one down there. There is a little evap connector right there. You want to make sure you get that off the front of the airbox, or that air inlet hose right there.
Man, get one side off.
Guys, this airbox is not fun. Now we see what everybody complains about. They've got all these wires zip tied to the back of this, well, not zip tied, but Christmas tree plugged into the back of this airbox, making it almost impossible to get it out.
Somebody's still hanging on. What's going on?
Somebody still doesn't want to come off.
Breather on here.
That comes straight out of the transmission, huh?
Yeah, it should be it's just attached to the outside of the airbox.
Oh, just like everything else. There she goes. There's a little breather that goes from the transmission that's attached to the airbox right there, guys. So just be careful of that. There you go. Don't even bother taking that thing off. Just slide the airbox to the side. But you guys can see. So here was the 10mm bolt that was hidden in the front, along with that one right there. So you have those 2 in the front that are on this side when you guys take the airbox out. And then you have a ton of just wires and everything that are just hooked randomly to random spots on this airbox. So just be careful for all of those. But we can finally see the transmission. Is it the yellow one?
It is the yellow one.
So if you guys do this yourselves, make sure you only take out the yellow one. Don't touch any of the yellow ones. So this is the nut right there.
Yeah, it's a 6mm.
Allen head takes that out. And there's our drain.
Don't take out the wrong one.
Don't take out the wrong one, right?
Well, it'd be kind of tough to, because this is the only Allen head.
So we got those 2 quarts in there. Now we're just gonna install this airbox back in. The install should be a lot easier than the than taking it apart. Yeah, guys. So to clear it up, there are no Christmas trees things that hold the box into the tranny. There's only 4 bolts, 2 on this side, 2 on the front side. But there's just a lot of those. A lot of the electrical connectors are all Christmas treed onto the actual airbox, so that's where the pain in the butt comes up. All right, so once you get the airbox back in there, you want to go ahead and cover for the airbox with its 20 screws.
With all those clips that go back on there, you got to make sure you get them back in where they go, otherwise that harness could lay over on the exhaust.
Here's a closer look at those DCT filters. All right, we got the fluids in, we got everything buttoned up. We're just gonna check for any leaks. Oh, and then we got to put the 2 bottom plates under there. And in case y'all didn't know, that's where you fill up the oil, and the dipstick is right next to it. All right, she's all done. Putting her back on the ground. All right, guys, so he's just resetting that oil engine light. Went ahead and changed the engine oil out. Got those 2 quarts of DCT fluid in, so we are all set to go for the track. And we did find that little transmission leak, so I will bring it back to the dealership after the track. Probably not the best idea, but you know, it is what it is. It's already been documented that, you know, the transmission has been leaking, so they already know that it happened prior to the track. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Go ahead and like this video, and we'll see you guys next video. Later.